Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and honestly confront a pretty painful reality for a lot of AI builders out there. You might know the feeling. You're stuck in this endless loop of learning. You're taking course after course, building these complex chatbots that literally nobody asked for, and staying up until 2 a.m. tweaking workflows, all without making a single dime. Well, today, we are going to break down exactly how to escape that vicious cycle and actually start landing real paying clients.
So, here is our roadmap for today. First, escaping tutorial hell. Second, the $5,000 mindset shift. And then, our 3-step playbook. Pick a niche, pick one problem, and send 10 messages. We're going to break down the exact psychological shift you need to stop hiding behind tutorials, and then hand you a direct playbook to land your first high-ticket client this week.
Section 1. Escaping tutorial hell. Honestly, it is time to just stop learning for a minute. We have to start with some tough love about why spending months mastering complex AI tools like N8, Claude Code, Vapey, and Retail might actually be the exact thing keeping you broke. See, the illusion is that building these endless voice agent demos at 2 in the morning feels highly productive, right? You feel busy, you feel like you're leveling up your skills, but the stark reality, your bank account hasn't changed by a single cent. And why is that? It's because you haven't spoken to a single actual business owner. You've basically got a Google Drive stuffed full of polished demos, but absolutely zero market feedback.
And this brings us to a really crucial truth. When you say, "I'm not ready yet," what that actually means is, "I'm scared." Waiting until you feel ready is really just hiding from the fear of rejection. I mean, it's way safer to binge a course at midnight because a video is never going to reject you. You're scared of reaching out, maybe blanking on a technical question, or getting laughed out of the room for quoting $3,000. But while you're hiding, people with way less AI knowledge than you are out in the real world closing $2,000 to $5,000 deals simply because they actually take action.
Section 2. The $5,000 mindset shift. Let's move to a real-world turning point and look at how this builds into an actionable strategy, using a really fascinating story about an HVAC and plumbing business owner.
So, the creator of our source material had this massive aha moment during a chat with his sister's friend. She ran a home services company and was just venting about her receptionist abruptly quitting. Because she was constantly out on job sites and her phone was on silent, all these customer calls were just dying in her voicemail. In fact, she had literally just lost a massive $4,000 install to a competitor just because she couldn't call the lead back in time.
Now, instead of just nodding sympathetically and going home to build his 50th private demo, the creator made a bold move. He pitched her a 24/7 AI voice agent. He said it would answer every single call, book her appointments, and instantly text her for any urgent issues. He quoted a massive upfront fee of $5,000 plus $500 a month ongoing. And guess what? Without even hesitating, the business owner eagerly accepted.
And the math here brilliantly illustrates exactly why she said yes. It completely speaks for itself. This system saved her $1,600 every single month compared to what she was paying a human receptionist. But more importantly, it rescued leads that generated $50,000 in net new revenue within just 2 months. And here's the absolute kicker. She didn't ask a single question about his certifications, how long he had been doing AI, or what his technical architecture looked like. Not one.
This brings us to the ultimate paradigm shift you have got to make. You need to stop being the AI nerd who tries to impress clients by rattling off buzzwords about webhooks, N8N, and Claude Code. Business owners do not know what those are, and frankly, they do not care. You need to start being the problem solver. You aren't selling AI, you are selling hours saved, money saved, and extra revenue generated. That simple shift is the difference between making $50 an hour and $5,000 a project.
Moving on to the playbook. Now that we understand business owners buy fixed problems, not shiny AI tools, let's break down the exact step-by-step strategy to execute this yourself.
This is your roadmap out of tutorial hell. This simple 3-part framework cuts through all the noise and overcomplication. It is designed specifically to get you a paying client this week. Not next month, this week.
Step 1. Pick a niche. Your first mandatory action here is committing to just one specific industry for the next 30 days. Dentists, med spas, roofers, HVAC companies. It doesn't matter. Just pick one and don't agonize over it. Think about it like the difference between a high-end steakhouse and a buffet. Specializing makes you the steakhouse.
A buffet gives you a ton of mediocre food for $15, right? But a steakhouse charges $60 for one small, highly specialized cut. By talking to 10 dentists in a row, you learn their very specific pain points. You stop sounding like a generalist hawking a generic chatbot and start sounding like an absolute industry expert. This is what allows you to charge more and close way faster, especially in niches where a single new customer brings in $3,000 to $10,000 in lifetime value.
Step 2. Pick one problem. Once you've got your niche locked in, you have to resist the temptation to offer them a million different fancy automations. Focus entirely on one, easy-to-explain issue.
Just choose one of these 3 massive pain points. First, missed calls. They happen every day when owners are out on the job, and an AI voice agent fixes that instantly. Second, slow follow-up, which absolutely kills web leads, but N8N can automate instant responses so their conversions skyrocket. Or third, target a dormant database. Running an AI reactivation campaign on past customers can literally pull 5-figure revenue out of thin air in a matter of days. Pick one.
And here is a massive weight off your shoulders. It is vital to remember that you do not need to be a certified AI mastermind with all the answers up front. You simply need to know enough to have a 10-minute conversation with a business owner and assure them that their specific problem can be fixed. You can and will figure out the exact build details after they say yes and pay you.
Step 3. Send 10 messages. This final step is where the rubber meets the road. It involves completely ditching the fancy pitch decks, the polished websites, and those absurd 47-step sales funnels.
Just reach out directly using a simple direct message. Contact these business owners by pointing out a specific flaw you noticed. Maybe they have no after-hours lead capture on their site, or you saw Google reviews complaining about their slow response times. Just tell them you fixed that exact issue for their specific industry and ask for a quick 15-minute chat. That's it. Then, when you actually get them on the call, frame your pitch entirely around the math. Say something like, look, if you're spending 5 hours a week following up manually and your time as an owner is worth $100 an hour, that's $2,000 a month you're burning. If my system eliminates that work entirely, my $2,000 setup fee is an absolute no-brainer because it pays for itself by month 2. When you just do the math for them, the price tag stops being scary and becomes totally obvious.
This is the ultimate truth of escaping tutorial hell, right here. Market feedback is entirely free, and it is infinitely more valuable than taking another course. An actual business owner will sit there and tell you exactly what keeps them up at night and exactly what they will gladly hand over their credit card to fix. Every single week you spend learning instead of selling, you are essentially handing your market share over to someone else who is just willing to take a swing.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. A year from now, you are going to look back on this exact moment. You'll either have a hard drive full of impressive little demos that made you $0, or you'll have a bank account full of client retainers because you were willing to stumble through a few awkward conversations. You already know enough to help someone. The only question is, what are you going to do right now? Are you going to close this and open another tutorial, or will you send that first message?